How's it going, everybody? While Danger Room is running, me and Scotty thought it'd be a good idea to share with you guys our favorite builds, how we got to those builds, and how to approach the gameplay. This is going to be your surefire way to own the Danger Room. And we're going to start with basically the best team that people are talking about, and that is going to be the Vigilante Danger Room build. And this one is pretty interesting, right, Scotty? This is your preferred team that you're taking?
I mean, I haven't tried anything else because this one just feels so good to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, it's definitely very powerful. All right, guys, just so we get off on the right foot, if you are new to Danger Room, you haven't done any of it yet, like you're at 0 of the Danger Room tokens, which are the yellow tokens, the best two characters to start off with are going to be Hitmonkey and Daredevil, and then farm up to about 45, and then you can start playing the gameplay a little bit better. Start on a lower difficulty, farm those danger tokens as fast as you can, which you do by just beating elite missions, and then you can go on about your day. But the Vigilantes bleed build. So, Scotty, why don't you talk us through the starter characters? Because there's a little bit of a flip up once you get enough danger tokens, right?
Yeah, I like when I initially started with Hitmonkey and Sable, I found that I just didn't have enough heals, and without like raid rules and stuff like that, I just wasn't Sable wasn't popping off as much as I needed her to. Um, so I found Hitmonkey and Daredevil as the first two was the better one, and hopefully if I got Sable along the way, it'd be even better, but it didn't seem to be as required.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And then obviously, like as you go along, if you can get all five, that's great. But I find it's very rare that I can get all five.
Yeah, like if you get 4, that's a good run. If you get
Hmm.
5, that's a great run. So,
Yeah.
so when was the switch up? When did you start bringing Sable in over Daredevil Modern?
So once I had 300 tokens and was able to unlock the raid rules.
Yeah, and why is that? Why does Sable start taking over there?
I don't remember.
So
I don't
Sable
remember
start,
her kit.
Sable starts taking over there because she does on spawn speed bar when raid rolls are
She's
active.
cool.
And Hitmonkey gives her energy, so she can also start spamming her abilities.
There you go.
Okay,
There's the dorky answer. The Scotty answer is I don't know. She pops off.
she popped off. Queen! All right, so the best non vigilante replacements. I found it interesting. So I've been watching you play it quite a few times now, and if you don't have Daredevil Modern, you're grabbing Groot. Why don't you talk us through the rationale there?
I just find I still need some heals. So my hope is Groot will get a turn and be able to heal my Sable. It does not always work out that way. Like on this run, he has not gotten his turn ever.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, like my Sable has had to face some endgame Thanoses, and she didn't like one shot him, and then the passive triggered. So
Right.
I did have to heal her once. Um, Stop by a heal station because I knew she was gonna die if I kept going.
Yeah, and there's endgame Thanoses are loaded up here.
Hmm.
So it is nice to have a kind of a healer character. We do like to avoid those healer stations once we get rolling and we have a couple of danger tokens because the more mods you get, kind of the cleaner it gets. All
Hmm.
right. Otherwise, you like the kind of the fastest, strongest characters, right? Preferably with AOE so they can kind of contribute.
Yeah, like Havoc, Taskmaster is another nice one because his ult when he gets it off does do a lot of damage, which is great.
Yeah, for sure. All right, after that, the Danger Room packs priority. So you talked about this. The raid rules really brings this team online, and once you get to 300 tokens, you can kind of start farming Danger tokens like crazy because Hitmonkey and Sable getting that sort of insane synergy together. You don't need all 5 Vigilante members to get their raid rules unlocked in this mode, which is really fun. But that's at
Mhm.
300, right? Before that, Agile cost 30 Danger Room tokens. It's definitely the one to race to. That really changed everything for me. Why don't you talk to me about Agile? That's the one where you get 10% increased speed stat.
Yeah, there's unfortunately, especially once you turn on the raid rules, you want all the speed you can because the general rule is if you get to go first, you murder them, but if they get to go first, you have to take a lot.
Yeah,
So the more speed you can get, the better because there are Illuminati, Sinister Six, Night Crawlers, like X-Men teams. It
yeah,
can get pretty nasty.
for sure. And then it's kind of the damage packs, right? So because it's the
Mhm.
vigilante team, there's a couple other cool vigilante packs. Like there's one where vigilante get 1 energy on spawn, but once you have the raid rules, that it's kind of useless because Hitmonkey's just giving everybody pretty much infinite energy on enemy kill, right? So
Mhm.
damage packs kind of just take the third spot, like whichever one you could equip the most danger tokens on, do that one.
damage, resistance,
Yeah,
I think armor. Because you will sometimes take a hit, and it's nice when they resist the ability blocker stun from Nightcrawler and
for sure. And then we were talking about this, someone in our alliance brought it up. The Cosmic Ghost Rider boon seems to be super helpful for what you just said, but that also costs 300. So that's kind of like, I mean, if I had 300, I'm doing the raid rules before I do that. I'd rather
yeah.
have infinite energy in the speed bar from Silver Sable for sure.
Yes, because I mean, a lot of the time you are going first. Like I
Mm-hmm.
can see that Cosmic Ghost Rider boon being helpful. Maybe if you have a different build, you're using a different team, but like
Yeah,
most of the time, Vigilante is going first. So I want the raid rules on, so I don't have to worry about other stuff.
couldn't agree more. I think the Cosmic Ghost Rider boon is probably the best one for like Starjammers because they're not a raid team, probably.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. This is the big part, the mods priority. So this is the buffs you're getting as you go into it. Let's talk about speeding ticket real quick because basically for every single build we're going to talk about in these like this series of videos we're going to do, if you don't have this one, everything becomes harder, right? Why don't you talk to me about speeding ticket and how it's impacting certain characters, enemy characters?
I mean, I think the big one is scroll
Yeah,
because I guarantee you, if you see speeding ticket and you pass it up, you will see a scroll next because that happened to me once when I was like,
yeah,
maybe I'll get it later. I picked a different one, and then scroll said, haha.
hmm,
There are some red goblins that'll get you too,
yeah,
because they'll speed up when the other hive minds characters get damaged. APOC, it's nice when you hit him that he doesn't immediately go at
yeah.
you. Mephisto, I think it's helpful. Like I think it's just if you're planning on finishing a run, it is a must get.
Yeah, especially for that final boss. All right, but here's the fun part. So the mod priority that you kind of it's kind of like a loose guide because obviously you don't get to pick things, right? It's kind of RNG on what's going to pop up. But there's a
Hmm.
loose priority here that if you see two, you're going to pick a certain one, right? Why don't you walk
Yeah.
us through sort of the hierarchy here?
I mean, Barrel of Monkeys is amazing, especially as you start getting more vigilante members, because once you get the hit monkeys popping off, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, Entry Wound is like I have finished runs without it where it just didn't pop up for me, and it was fine, but it is really helpful, especially as you get more members in your party, because
Yeah.
then you just spawn in, they have a bunch of bleed. Like I have literally just watched Skrulls fall over before they even got to do anything, because
Night
they had so
crawlers
many
too.
bleeds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so that's really helpful. So like if you see it, that's like it would if I had Barrel of Monkeys or Entry Wound, I'd probably still go for Barrel of Monkeys first, just because I find having those guys is helpful, but it would be hard to pick between those two.
Yeah.
Um, Carnage Boon is really helpful, especially because usually Sable is ulting, so then she's dropping some people low, then she gets to go again, she's getting energy. Like I've been able to just ult huge waves of enemies because you will see like multiple like waves start as you progress, like just big waves.
For sure.
Um, Monkey See, Monkey Do is very helpful when you have those like earlier packs that we talked about. Energy Vampire, like not that you so much need the energy per se, but like if you do once able to keep ulting, that can be helpful. And then the other stuff is kind of just it's very like this makes sense because it's building into, bleeds, defense downs, um, with taking their speed bar, having counter attacks. Like if they actually get an attack off you, that all your guys attack them back. That's helpful too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like the first three. Like if you get those, you're gonna have a good right. Barrel Monkeys, Entry
Hmm.
and Carnage Boon. If you get those and you have raid rules turned on, like you're off to the races. The rest is all kind
Hmm.
of like nice little flavor stuff. I really like the defense down. The defense down does increase the amount of damage they take from the entry when bleeds, which I thought was really really cool. But it all kind of like it snowballs in. Just go for these top three, and then you're gonna have a good run. The B tier stuff is like if you don't see any of this upper tier stuff, then this is pretty decent as like some extra defensive options and some extra like control options like on enemy turn. If they have bleed, you get filled speed burn on all your allies. So there's a couple cool things that you can lean into there as well. Why don't you talk to us about the gameplay? Because you've been playing this team like crazy, right? So what is your priorities gameplay wise when you're going through a run?
Uh, it is basically Silver Sable, alt, like alt,
Mm-hmm.
Hitmonkey, like I don't always use his ult because he only hits two people. So if I have a build where like hitting people with bleeds is going to decrease their speed bar, give me energy, I sometimes special to hit more people. Um,
Also, if you have Carnage Boon, then it's like, yeah, so using Hitmonkey
yeah,
Ultimate is good because it gives you offense up, it gives you speed up. But if you have
yeah,
Carnage's Boon and the Hitmonkey special is going to push four people, well, then you just got 80% turn bar, which is better than
yeah.
what speed up will give you. So it doesn't really matter.
And
You're,
when you're starting out, and when you're starting out early, like we talked about it, like often you want to take a care package over doing the elite missions when
yeah,
you're trying to build, get through a run, start building up tokens,
yeah.
at least early on, and then you can start doing them. But you really don't want to start doing elite missions really soon when you maybe only have two people because you may click on that and it's going to be like a wave of 10 people.
Yeah, yeah. So I say don't avoid starter elite missions, but that is under the assumption there's not a care package. Because the care
Yes.
package is the only way, or I guess the store as well, where you can actually get additional characters to add to your team.
Yeah.
Uh, and then you said you had to hit a heals node this current run, but generally you
Yeah.
avoid the heals, right? If you have Daredevil Modern, you're pretty healthy the whole way.
Yeah, I mean, because every time you pick a heal node, you're giving up a potential buff to
Yeah.
your team. That's also helpful. There is also a buff that puts three regeneration on you, so sometimes I pick that one so that Sable will heal.
It's kind of like, yeah, it's just the end game Thanoses will slowly whittle you down.
Yes.
Like you're probably gonna do like four end game Thanos nodes per run, sadly. But
Yeah.
speaking of runs, you have currently a run going right now. Why don't you walk us through the mods you were able to pick up, and then we'll see the gameplay, we'll see the characters that you grabbed along the way, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so I started with like the obviously the raid rules. I have enough that I can unlock like the 50% of damage, armor resistance, and focus, and another 30%, and another 20% focus and resistance. I actually didn't bring the speed one in this time because I just didn't have enough yellow tokens when I added it up.
Okay.
And then along the way, like the big ones that I got, Barrel of Monkeys, the Carnage Boon. Um, Doom's Boom is kind of like a safety just in case they get some attacks off. I don't find this triggers very much because ideally they're not getting hit. But I think it was just there were no other good ones when I saw that one, so I picked it. I did get entry wound later on,
So that's the big
which is
three.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get it until I think I just got it like one node earlier to this.
Okay.
And then I have a lot of the like the things with bleeds, like getting damage for every enemy that had bleeds. And I had to pick. There was one where it was like gain 20% damage, period, or this one where I'm getting 20% damage for each enemy that has bleed. So a wave of like 10 people that are then spawning in with bleeds because of entry wound, that's giving me a ton more damage than just like a base 20.
Yeah.
Um, Here's the thing is like a nice kind of safety net. Like if they get some attacks off, then my people are attacking them back, which has been great. Monkey see, monkey do, very helpful just for having hit monkeys assist and murdering things. Like I had an Odin just die to one attack because all the hit monkeys came and smashed him in the face.
Yeah. So Barrel Monkeys
Um,
and Monkey See Monkey Do is crazy together.
yeah. Speeding ticket obviously has been great. Like I got that early on. It was helpful because I've seen a lot of scrolls. Um, can't gain trauma. I don't think I have the one for safeguard and immunity, so I did have to face one Mephisto, and that still got some debuffs on me. But yeah, just kind of leaning into what I could get along the way. But just make sure when you get the shop nodes that you click on the cards, because early on I was only thinking I was selecting characters, and I didn't realize there was a cards button. And when you click that, there's a lot of great buffs, and I usually focus on that if there's no good vigilante characters
Right
along
on.
the way.
All right. So this is difficulty 10. Why don't you show us your boss
Yeah.
fight?
Okay. Well, I don't know what's going to be in it, but I can guarantee it's going to be two endgame Thanoses. Yep.
It's always the
Yep.
same. The boss
It's
fight is
always the
static.
same.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's see all this bleed damage. Oh, the characters you got along the way. Why don't you talk about this real quick?
So I unfortunately did not, I never get Punisher, I feel like. And Daredevil is like a 50-50, and I didn't get him, but so I added Elektra, Brute, ideally, maybe he'll heal once on this run. I don't think he's gotten a chance. Taskmaster did do his ult at one point, which was helpful, and I think his special at another node, which his stun is very helpful. Um, and then these guys, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's see it. So didn't get really good luck on the characters. I think
No.
3 vigilantes by the end of the run, like that's kind of I guess normal. It's borderline good or like normal or bad
Ugh.
luck.
It's poop.
Yeah, kind of poop. All right, so lots of bleeds, no defense down packed. But look at that. With all the damage from the danger room tokens, this is what it kind of looks like
Okay.
after you get a lot of those danger room tokens. It's just over. Look, just alt after alt after alt. There we go. And that's it. That's all she wrote. All right, guys. Kind of anticlimactic content at the end there because it just instantly killed. But that is the Vigilante bleed build in a nutshell. Make sure you give it a try in the Danger Room. I think this is the main build people used to climb and be able to do difficulty 10 or just max out their milestones. I'm also hearing that people say you cannot get cumulative score on your milestones anymore. You can. You just have to make sure you do at least one elite mission during your run for the score to add up. Anyway, Scotty, thank you for running us through your Vigilante build, and we'll see you in the next one. We're probably going to talk about Space Jammers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not Star Jammers, Space Jammers. Okay, bye.
Bye.
That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.